the rest of my life. I don't remember if in the middle of that chaos, in the last second I saw my daughter, if I remembered to say, I love you. I sent my kids to school. It wasn't supposed to be the last time. It was supposed to be Valentine's Day. We were going to have a day of love when they came home. But only one of them would make it home. My daughter Jamie was murdered in school. Thankfully, my son Jesse, who is sitting here, was not harmed. Jamie was the toughest person I knew, and she fought for her life, running down the hallway from an active shooter until boom! A single shot through her side severed her spinal cord. I don't know if my daughter died instantly. I don't know if my daughter suffered. That is in my head every second of every day now. That is what motivates me. It is what pushes me. For those who want to know why I become active in the issue of gun safety and why I call for this orange wave in November, when your day starts with a visit to the cemetery to visit your forever 14-year-old daughter, you have no choice. When I think about Jamie running down the hallway, fighting for her life with an active shooter at her back, I have no choice. When we know, had the issue of guns been previously dealt with by our elected leaders, both local and national, and that this could have been prevented, I have no choice. Because of what happened, I started a campaign called Orange Wave in November. The goal of the campaign is to get out the vote. Let's face it, people, the one thing I've learned, especially on the national level right now, policy doesn't matter. We need to make change. We need to get out the vote. And to do so, where gun safety is a mandate issue. When the new Congress sits, it needs to be clear to the legislators that some were fired because of where they stood on this issue, and new ones were hired because of where they stand on this issue. When the new Congress sits, we want to know that there will be former legislators sitting at home because of their commitment to the NRA. Yeah. So as part of the Orange Wave, I started a Dad's Challenge. Let's face it, you kids, you're freaking awesome. Organized, you communicate, you're motivated, you're taking a lead. And to the moms, I see you, the moms, the man back there. You are unbelievable. Organized, communicating, out there, driving the message, driving the voting message. The dads? Yeah, not so much. So I started a Dad's Challenge to try and get dads to do more. All of the rules for the Dad's Challenge are on our website, and you can print out a sign, but in essence, what I was asking dads to do is something creative with the color orange and a video format that could be posted online, and that they would call out other dads to do the same. And the purpose was, as part of your message, to show your commitment to voting orange for gun safety. We've gotten some really cool videos. We've gotten videos from around the world. Video from done at the top of the Empire State Building, one that was done in Africa, one that was done skydiving. Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary rewrote Puff the Magic Dragon for our... But my favorite was that song you just heard. A dad wrote and performed that song for the challenge. And it's become now my favorite song in the world. So a lot of really cool things, but the bottom line is, it's a voting challenge. We cannot sit on the sidelines any longer. Something must be done. And it is up to us to get out and vote. There are no excuses for anybody to sit out this election. It's not a presidential election, but do not sit it out. The day after Jamie's murder, I attended a vigil here in Parkland and spoke. That night was the night that I knew my voice would be part of this fight going forward. I walked around the house for the next week saying to anyone who would listen, and I'll clean this up, that I needed to break that effing gun lobby. I do blame them for holding legislators and legislation hostage. And I do think that if they were irrelevant, more would have been done, and my daughter and other victims of gun violence would be here today. This is Parkland. We live in Parkland. We live in that community that people move to be safe. We live in that community where this doesn't happen. But it did. 17 dead, of which my baby was one, and 17 seriously injured. Parkland. This can happen anywhere, and we need to put a stop to this. We can't sit on the sidelines any longer. Something must be done. I will never have the kind of fear and anxiety that Jamie did running down the hall from school with an AR-15 at her back. And so, I've lost the capacity for fear, and honestly, I do not care what the gun lobby thinks of me. I will not go away. My good friend Manny over here isn't going to go away. Every town isn't going to go away. We are going to be relentless. We will break that lobby and we will win. Yes. To close, I just want to say a word about our foundation, Orange Ribbons for Jamie, and how we came up with that name. Many in this room knew Jamie, and you knew she was a beautiful, competitive dancer. The night she was murdered, her dance studio friends, who loved her very much, decided to honor her memory by coming over and wearing orange ribbons. Orange happened to have been Jamie's favorite color. Because of Jamie's love of dance and the dance world's love of Jamie, the orange ribbon spread through dance studios in a matter of days, first locally, but then around the country, and then through Broadway. So, orange was Jamie's favorite color. That's why we chose the color. It wasn't until about 2 weeks after she was murdered that somebody said to me, "Do you know that's the color of the gun safety movement?" It was a connection that I couldn't let go of, and that was the day that I decided I wanted to make the orange ribbon the symbol of the gun safety movement. That's how I'm going to honor my daughter. So, with that, my hope is that people who care about public safety from guns will help me to do this and proudly wear an orange ribbon, and will support us in our efforts as we continue to cross the country to educate, inform, and ultimately pass common sense gun safety. Before I leave the stage, I just want to show everyone a video that Jamie's dance studio did to honor her at the end of last year. And then following that, my good friend, my brother, Manny, is going to come up and speak as well. But with that, here's Jamie.